Hello, Kaiko here, and welcome to the chaos. Let's go. Turn out into a pretty long conversation, huh? We should probably go deliver the letters to the Angel Share now. Just while we're here. Well, let me grab that mushroom. And let's climb down here. No, I don't want to talk to Patton. I want to go in. I'm fine, thanks. Okay, in the door. There we go. When you're mixing drinks in hot weather, start by pouring in cold water and add ice cubes, then drain out the water before adding the other ingredients. How's that for a secret recipe? Maybe it's worth a little intel in return. Ugh, please, I've known that little trick for a good 10 years at least. You have to offer something a little more substantial if you're serious about trading. I know there's no one else in the tavern right now, but do you two really need to talk so loudly? Especially if you're supposed to be exchanging confidential information. Hiya, Rosaria Dillick. Paimon knew we'd find you here. Looks like it's about to get even noisier. Little liveliness never killed anyone. Kaiko, Paimon, what brings you our way? I have a letter for each of you. You deliver Varka's letters to their recipients. Please allow me once again to express my sincere condolences regarding your late father and the incident. With Erok, we make absolutely no excuse for his crimes. I hope you will give some serious consideration to the question I asked you before I left, though I'm sure you've tried. Oh, wait. Yep. Though I'm sure you're tired of hearing me ask by now, the Knights of Venice will always welcome you. Okay, so I guess Dillick is the one who might not know he wants to be a knight yet. Razor must be the one who may not be ready, like with social interactions, but there was a third person. The look on your face, I'm guessing the Grandmaster is still refusing to drop it. He nags like an old man, it's hardly surprising. Drop what? What's this about? Nothing really. Before leaving on the expedition, Varka came here to chat with me over a drink. I failed to avoid him. He asked me if I'd consider rejoining the Knights of Vonius, and I declined. He expressed his regret about everything that's happened and asked me to reconsider. That's all there is to it. Yeah, right. Sounds like you skipped a lot of detail. There's clearly more to it. Whatever details I choose to admit are in the past. Dragging them by now serves no purpose. You say that now, but back then you couldn't let it go. You and the Knights of Avernus were constantly at odds. I wasn't seeing the full picture. I've had a lot of time to reflect since then. But my answer remains unchanged. I'm not rejoining the Knights of Avernus. Both the Grandmaster and the acting Grandmaster are too upright and honourable. They can't see the shadows that lurk beneath them due to the size of the organisation they lead. They need someone on the outside to keep watch vigilantly. If I had more of it every time I've heard you repeat that argument, I actually don't disagree with the first part of what you said, but do you think someone could keep tabs on things from the inside? When you join an organisation, you're bound by its rules, no matter how free it may seem on the surface. You think so? Never mind the Knights. Have you honestly ever been bound by the rules of the Church? Good question. Have you ever considered that maybe that's why I chose to join the Church and not the Knights to begin with? Kaiko, are they arguing or not? It's kind of hard to tell. They're not arguing, they just have different ways of protecting those around them. Oh, kind of like the contingencies Jean was talking about. The more ways they have to protect their home, the better. Huh, Kaiko? I wonder if this is exactly what Varka was hoping for. Well, hello, Kaya. What should I report back to the Grandmaster on? Let me think. Public order inside the city, monster activity in the wild. Oh, and a review of the latest vintages. I think I'll leave it at that. My reply won't be a long one, as usual. I'm sure Varka won't be surprised. Is he gonna give them to us to bring back or something? Like, how is he gonna get all these replies? And where's Rosaria? Oh, she's upstairs. Okay. And Rosaria, how are you? If you hadn't had to deliver the guy's mail, you wouldn't have been subjected to all this tedious arguing. When I write back, I'll tell him to quit making trouble for other people. It's no trouble. Loa did most of the work. We just volunteered to do the last leg of the journey. Lucy said we could come say hello. Besides, I wouldn't really call it an argument. You just have different ideas on how to protect Mondstadt. So you see what's really going on here. All three of us fell for that old rascal's schemes far too readily. A scheme? What do you mean? Was Varka lying in his letters then? No, well, I'm sure Varka knows full well that Dilek would never agree to return the Knights. I believe the sentiments he expressed were genuine, as was his offer to welcome Dilek back. There are people like Kai and I, then there are those who are true champions of justice to the core. There's people that are most susceptible to being driven to extremes by great upheaval. It's happened in Mondstadt before. Not only that, but it happened to Knight of Boreas. That'll really hit home for Varka, and that's why his nagging is even more persistent than usual. A champion of justice driven to extremes? We're saying that happened to Knight of Boreas? Yeah, so no one told you this before? The lineage of the Knights of Boreas has nearly been extinguished twice in history. The first was at its inception, the second was the case I was alluding to. Oh, wasn't Jean telling us about that? Wait, and then we got caught up talking about the expedition and we never got round to the second time. I happened to hear about it from Varka once when he was drinking and started yammering on. The second crisis in the Knights of Boreas lineage, it was 500 years ago. Oh, that's not going to be good. Although the Knights of Boreas are meant to be intermediaries between humans and wolves, in practice, very few of them have been truly recognised by Lupus Boreas over the past millennium. Of those who have, the best known are the first Knight of Boreas, Ravenwood, the Wolf Pup, Rostam, and Varka himself. But 500 years ago, there was one who earned the respect of Boreas even before gaining the title. He was a disciple of Rostam. They thought he would become the mightiest Knight of Boreas who ever lived. He was a perfect knight, righteous, principled. His name was Roland, the Bloodstained Knight. Roland? Why have I heard that name before? Who is Roland? Yikes, Bloodstained Knight? That sounds a little ominous. Well, apparently his original title was the White Knight. He lost countless comrades during the Abyssal Calamity 500 years ago, including his tutor and mentor Rostam. The endless bloodshed stained his sword and armour a crimson as deep as black, transforming the White Knight into the Bloodstained Knight. After that, he threw himself completely into battling monsters, leaving Mondstadt and the Knights of Favonius behind. To this day, no one knows his final whereabouts. It's hard to say whether the loss of an important figure in his life is what drove him to the point of obsession, or whether he was already too far gone to save. But he had known the Knights of Favonius would always welcome him back. But had he known, perhaps things would have turned out differently. If you want my opinion, the reason why Varka keeps asking Dilek to rejoin despite knowing that he'll never say yes is to let him know you are not alone. After all these years, he's still as persistent as ever, just like how he used to be with me. Turns out Varka's a lot more thoughtful than he lets on. Paimon had the wrong idea about him. Anyway, there's still something about this whole Boreas business that Paimon isn't really getting. Wasn't Andreas a god in Mondstadt thousands of years in the past? If so, why did Jean say that Boreas and the Wandering Knight only arrived here just 1,000 years ago? Plus, Paimon's super curious about what happened to Roland. Shall we go get the answer straight from the horses or Wolf's mouth? You can meet up with Lowen and Wolvendom while we're at it. That's a great idea. Jean said he hasn't been showing himself much lately, but he always seems happy to oblige whenever you show up. Let's go. Okay, let's see. Is Rosaria still upstairs? She is. Let me guess, you're heading to Wolvendom next. Say hi to Razor for me. Oh, if I'm not helping him write his response to Varka, he needs to learn to be independent. What should I put back to Grandmaster on? Oh, okay, yep. This is the same. Okay, I thought maybe it would have changed, but it did not change. I mean, Dilek's response is probably the same as well. So let's leave. Okay, where are we going? We're going to Wolvendom. Okay, let's teleport there, because it'll be a little bit quicker. And yeah, we gotta find out what's going on. Do you think that's related to the knights I was following? What's going on here? Was Wolvendom always like this? Paimon has a bad feeling about this. Oh yeah, it's all purple. Oh! The Wild Hunt, what are they doing here? Watch out! Wait, I got a bit distracted, but I do need to I googled one thing. And I just need to look something up. Because Let me just... I was wondering why I thought the name Rostam and Roland were familiar, and I just want to check if I was correct in my thinking. Yes! Rostam is Signora's husband or something. Yes, that's it. I think. Yep, that was... That's why. Okay. He might be mentioned in one of the, like... I don't know, you know the, like, cards, TCG cards? That might be it. I was wondering why the name sounded familiar. Now we know. Okay. That's why I knew the name Rostam. Anyway, the World Hunt, what are they doing here? Watch out. That is bad. We don't want this. We don't want the Wild Hunt. So how did they get here? Is this from Andreas being a little bit cursed? I guess... Oh! Whoops! Ooh. Let's get rid of this last guy. I don't like the Wild Hunt. They're really annoying to get rid of. But we make do. Oh! I was gonna say, like, without Luna damage, it's not as easy. But then I'm thinking, I use the tiny team anyway, so it's not like I was using Luna damage when I was in Nod-Krai. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. There we go. Finally. Drink some more water. Kaiko, you alright? Stay alert, there's still something nearby. Oh no, what now? It better not be more wild hunt monsters. Huh? Lowen? You scared Paimon stiff. She thought you were. Stop right there, answer me this. The 2 letters I gave you, who were they for? 2 letters, wasn't it 3? There were 3. Kaya, Dilek, and Rosaria. Okay, well Paimon's clueless and naive expression doesn't appear to be an act. Hey, what are you trying to say? Wait, were you trying to say, huh? Huh? You're saying you passed the test. Paimon passed the test? Really? She didn't even realize she was taking one. You may dispense with your suspicions. The wolf pack has borne witness. They fought alongside the aberrations that encroached upon this land, and our attackers show no ability to disguise themselves this time. Ah. Ah, been sent. Come, I will await you at the usual grounds. But if the boss of Wolvendom has vouched for you, I guess I should apologize for doubting you just now. always pays to remain vigilant. Were you attacked by the Wild Hunt too? Sure was. Fortunately, my experience in Nod-Krai didn't go to waste. Turns out the Wild Hunt all feel the same when you stab them. You didn't stand a chance. Nothing seems wrong with that old wolf, though. Go on, you should check on him. Apparently we should. This is very ominous. I don't like it. Why is everything so spooky? Oh, okay. We are, in special quest mode, I guess. Yeah, it's super spooky. Oh, and Razor's here. Oh. Lupus Boreas not injured. Why so weak? Am I not strong enough? You're not to blame. With your Iron Claw, you successfully blocked their attacks. However, their assault went beyond the mere physical world. They followed my trail from the distant north across the ley lines. They sought to corrupt the territory I protect, but I shall not let them succeed without a fight. The trail starting in the north, so they came from Nod-Krai? We meet again, human Lupercal. So you saying the Wild Hunt we just got attacked by came all the way from Nod-Krai to Mondstadt? How is it even possible? As you know, I stand before you as an incomplete being. I am but one remnant of the god Andrius' soul. Oh, only one remnant. Souls this turmoil, I can sense it. It lies in the north. It is the part of me that remains in Nod-Krai from whence I came. Huh? Now I'm even more confused. How can you be in two places at once? Are all gods like this? Do you all like to split yourselves into multiple parts? Many gods housing a part of their soul within an object is no difficult feat, but those who can perform such delicate partitions as this are rare even among the gods. Oh, okay, reveal yourself to Lowen, why don't you? Okay. And Razor. The Wolf King Andrius was particularly adept in this art, otherwise no remnants of his soul would have survived till the present day. Huh? The bard's back? Tone-deaf bard, what are you doing here? Maybe the god of Anemo guided me here, for it appears that someone is in need of a tale from the distant past, and a wolf friend doesn't seem too keen on recounting it himself. You're better than a bard to the honours, Lord Boreas. Do I have your blessing to share this story? As you wish. In pursuit of wind and shadow, Lupus Boreas wandered the frozen tundra and stumbled into the sea. All, enchanted by their song, tender as the dawn sunlight, and curious about the ways of humankind, the wolf bade farewell to his home and set off from the city to the south. Wait, no. He wandered the frozen tundra and stumbled into the Sealy Hall. Enchanted by their song, tender as the dawn starlight, and curious about the ways of humankind, the wolf bade farewell to his home and set off for the city to the south. Okay. As the high tower crumbled and the fierce winds fell silent, Lupus Boreas, who once had hunted with the storm winds himself, looked within and inquired. Was the shelter he provided for humanity really any different from that given by the reclusive king in his tower? The wolf entrusted those under his protection to a new god, and quietly returned to the frozen north. There, in a palace long since abandoned by its former master, the great wolf closed his eyes and slept. 500 bits of winters passed, then 500 equally frigid springs. He slumbered undisturbed until the night stumbled in from the cold. Just as Lupus Boreas had once done at the City Hall and woke him at long last. The knight asked the wolf to join him on a journey south, to see once more the land that had all but faded from his memory. The gentle wolf, unwilling to refuse the human's earnest plea, split his soul into two halves and left his home once more. Seeing how the ice and snow had given way to verdant plains, hearing the laughter and song that now filled the once somber city, the aged Lupus Boreas turned to his friend, the god of Anemo, and remarked. So this is the world the humans dreamed of. Though the night's journey was not yet over, the wolf chose to bid farewell to his companion here. He had written the end of his story. What knowledge he had been gifted flowed into the land. Everything he was, he gave unto the world. Well, that's how a bard would tell the tale, Lord Boreas. Is there anything you'd like to add? There is no need for you to ask that question. So that's what happened. You returned to Mondstadt with a knight 1,000 years ago, and then for the sake of the new Mondstadt, you need not feel remorse on my account. That was my answer. That was my decision. If anyone should feel regret, it is the part of me who remained in Nod-Krai. I fear Andreas has not found peace in his heart even to this day. That is surely why those vile aberrations were able to exploit his weakness, sowing the seeds of all the turbulence that has ensued. We followed Boreas' trail in Nod-Krai. We investigated and discovered no signs of instability. Andreas should still be slumbering by the lakeside. Perhaps all the recent turmoil in Nod-Krai has had unforeseen consequences. And there's more. I detect another familiar scent from across the ley lines, a scent that reeks of blood. Could it be Roland, the Bloodstained Knight? Oh, the White Knight who became the Bloodstained Knight, the mightiest knight of Boreas? But wasn't he from 500 years ago? You think he's immortal or something? I remember him as just a man. His lifespan should be no longer than any other of his kind. Before he severed his connection to Boreas, his final destination, it was the ancient kingdom of Conria, as you call it. Beyond that, I know not if he lived or died. Conria 500 years ago? If you want to get to the bottom of this, I'm afraid you'll have to make another trip to Nod-Krai for yourselves. As luck would have it, another old friend of yours is just so happens to be free right now. If you ask him nicely, he might give you a lift. That could save you a lot of time on the road. No wonder I can suddenly sense the East Wind's presence. If even Monster has been affected by the fallout, Nod-Krai must be in real trouble by now. I hope Varka can handle it. Varka? Is he in danger? I believe too many passengers would slow our dear friend down. I fear he only has room to carry one person, along with perhaps a diminutive companion. I understand. I'll go. Alright, wish it could be me, but I accept that we should send our strongest warrior to fight Nod-Krai's battles. I'll stay here and deal with any wild hunt that try harassing Mondstadt. It'll be a good chance to try out some new moves. I stay in Mondstadt too. With Kaiko's help, Varka will be safe. Razor, give me your iron claw. Ooh. Golden-haired traveler, give this token to the current Knight of Boreas. What's this? It is a wolf spirit. It contains my power and thoughts. Though I have given him a piece before, this should bring him new strength. The dominator of the wolves once bestowed the power of his soul upon his pack, strengthening their hearts and sharpening their claws and fangs. But human hearts and flesh cannot bear the soul of a wolf directly. It would be akin to forcefully merging a human and a wolf into one being. They would descend into chaos. To prevent the entanglement of souls, the most I can do is temporarily house my power and thoughts within claws and fangs wrought of steel. Although truth be told, the knight does not lack the power, what he needs more is the thoughts within. But I shall leave this for him to explain. Is it safe to separate a piece of the wolf spirit at a time like this? Great Wolf King of the North remains strong for now. Besides, do I not have the protection of my Lupercal? I will protect Lupercal, the North, and Varka. I leave to you. How's he gonna do that if he gave away his claymore? Are we giving him something else in return? Just give me the word whenever you're ready, Kaiko. It's good to know that Lowen clearly did not figure it out because, like, I don't know how he didn't figure it out, but he didn't seem to just know. I shouldn't expect my experience fighting the Wild Hunt in Nod-Krai to come in handy back here in Mondstadt. Almost makes me wonder if this was the reason I was sent back. Also, how come that bard knows so much, and what was he doing at the Thousand Winds Temple? Indeed. Well, whatever, I don't really care, as long as I get to do some fighting. I'm looking forward to trading blows with Lucas Boreas when he's fully recovered. I bet he'll wipe the floor with me. Interesting. I can read Varka's letter. I will try my best to write a reply. Wolf's claws make poor instruments for writing human words, but that token will suffice to convey my thoughts. Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. You probably have to hit the ground running when you get to Nod-Krai. About the Wolf of the North. The root of his turmoil lies with the remnant soul that Andreas, dominator of wolves and god of the North, the North Wind, left in Nod-Krai. He once left Nod-Krai and braved the blizzards to confront the god of storms and claim the right to rule. Yet even as the tower fell, he chose to abandon his claim. Instead, he returned to the North and slumbered for 1,000 years before finally journeying back under the name of Boreas with the first Knight of Boreas to witness the new face of Mondstadt. When the wolf spirit could no longer maintain his physical form, Boreas chose to pour his power into the ley lines. With that, he became the North Wind of Mondstadt, as he is still known to this day. Wait, let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. So he's from Nod-Krai, came to Mondstadt, went back to Nod-Krai, and then came back to Mondstadt. Any questions before we go? About Roland. 500 years ago, Roland seemed destined to become the mightiest knight of Boreas ever to have lived, but he was too pure of heart. He believed firmly in his own ideals of chivalry, vowing to eliminate all injustice from the world. But the world had never been perfect and pure, nor would it ever be. Neither his mentor, the wolf pup Rustam, nor the Grand Master, known as the Lion of Light, could persuade him to temper his obsession. So what was the scent that reeks of blood that Lucas Boreas sensed, and what is its connection to Conria and the Abyss? Perhaps you will uncover the truth in Nod-Krai. About this token of the wolf spirit. The soul of a wolf is as unyielding as ice, and Andreas is a master of moulding and shaping it. His people once drew great strength and wisdom from the wolf spirit. But human hearts and flesh cannot contain the soul of a god. When to place the wolf spirit in a human vessel would slowly devour their sense of self, even if Lupus Boreas did not intend for that to happen. That's why Lupus Boreas developed the technique of imbuing weapons with his soul. It is his way of blessing his human Lupigar with the wolf spirit's protection. In fact, there is an ancient song that tells of this tale. A weapon once of common iron, now, through friendship, turned divine. Twixt man and wolf a bond was made, a power born within the blade. As much as he might claim not to accept humans, his actions sing a different tune. Oh, but keep that little observation between us, will you? Any questions? No, I'm good, let's go. Alright, over to you, Dvalin. Okay, there's another 1, 2, 3, 4 drinks of water. Okay. I drank them. Okay, you're going back in a few. If wolves and angels do not cry, then why aren't wolf folks? I have no idea. Who knows? The Knight of Boreas awaits below. We must part ways here. Barbatos and I have other plans. We will meet you again later. Alright, hey, wait, how are we getting down? Ah! I love it. We leaped right off that edge. This is definitely gonna be fine. Enter the fray. Okay. I see absolutely nothing wrong with letting Yao Yao just go in here and start. Oh no! She's falling! She better survive. Hold the line. The enemy's on the brink of collapse. Grandmaster, it's... Ooh, Dendro! Reinforcements, it's about time. Honorary Knight, reporting for duty, Grandmaster. And Paimon too. Let's cut to the chase. What's the situation? We're just about hanging in there. Most of the grunts are taken care of now. Their leader's gonna have to make a decision soon. Fight or flight, what will it be? The mightiest Knight of Boreas. Oh, is that Roland? As expected, this hastily summoned wild hunt horde is nothing but a disorganized rabble, a mere shadow of the forces gathered by the Rash of Sonari. But they have served their purpose. I now understand your tactics, and you, in turn, understand mine. This is fair. This is a way of chivalry. Farewell, heir to the knighthood of Boreas. Whether you choose to resist me or not, I shall fight, set right the injustices of this world in the name of the Bloodstained Knight. Guess they're retreating for now. Does that wolf of the north look alike? That was Andreas. But why would he be leading the wild hunt? And why was he talking about the Bloodstained Knight? Forget that. We can save the details for later. He was the enemy boss, right? Are we just gonna let him get away? There's no point chasing after him. We've crossed blades already, and it ended in a stalemate. Right now, there's nothing we can do about it. Why? As strong as he might look, surely he can't be any stronger than the foes we fought before. True, we're still not certain of his true identity, but whether he's a god corrupted by the abyss or a legendary knight, killing him might be just about possible, especially now that you're here. The difficult part is we can't kill him right now. Huh? What do you mean? Is he immortal or something? No, judging from our skirmishes so far, I don't think he's got any special abilities of that caliber. Nor does he have the ridiculous level of power wielded by the Five Sinners. But compared to Rere, our current foe clearly has a better understanding of how to exploit Nod-Krai to his advantage, particularly when it comes to Andreas' remnant soul. So what you're really worried about isn't so much the enemy himself, but the god remains? Exactly. I don't think you realise what the crux of the issue is. I managed to cut off a sample from our foe, which Albedo and Durin are analysing as we speak. Meanwhile, our other allies should be making their way home from their own battles by now. Let's discuss this further when they're back. We still have some big challenges ahead before this expedition can finally be declared a victory. I now understand why we had to do this quest before we could do the Welcome Home quest. Because, you know, that's how it's going to be. 1,000 years is not enough time for stuff to evolve unless stuff evolves fast. I mean, it could evolve fast. That wouldn't surprise me. I don't question anything in this game. It's all true. The meeting probably is going to be in the biggest tent, right? Looks like a bunch of people are there already. Why don't we go chat with them? Well, I see Jehoda. What are you doing here? Hey, good to see you again, Kaiko. Oh, Boss Neff asked you to pass on a message. She went to see Llama and Columbina at the Frostmoon Scions. Apparently there haven't been any changes to that space the Rashov Sonari's in. That means the recent Wild Hunt attacks have nothing to do with Rara, right? Phew, that's a relief. Paimon doesn't fancy seeing him again. Keeping a close watch on it just in case. With so many immune experts on the case, we're in pretty safe hands, huh? Oh yeah, Llama and Columbina asked me to pass on a message too. Focus on the enemy you are facing, the moon will protect you all. You know something? These Knights of Favonius are paying me a pretty nice sum to deliver a few simple messages. Mark is a generous guy. Okay, she is a messenger. Oh, and Ineffa's here. Does that mean Aino's here? Short distance propulsion module on cooldown, 15 minutes until next departure. Switching to chat mode. Hello there, Paimon and Kaiko. Ineffa, what are you doing here? I'll place sizable order with a click-clack from Kake craft shop. I know it's hard at work producing strategic reserve while I'm handling the deliveries. Secondly, I'm also here to attend the meeting in her place. Flint, Paimon thought the Lightkeeper's rep would be Iluga or Nikita. Not like you to volunteer to attend a meeting. You're quite right, however, Iluga and Nikita are both busy organising the Ratniki's region-wide response to the recent attacks. Since I'm well acquainted with everyone here, I was the one they recommended to attend the meeting. Oh, so you don't even want to be here? Sometimes you get a choice. You don't get a choice when there might be consequences down the line. Okay, well, what's going on? Hey, on night, looks like pretty much everyone's here. Albedo and Durin are just wrapping up their analysis. You want to wait for them here? We can wait. Great, while we're waiting, could you update me on the situation in Mondstadt? While relating Vark on the situation in Mondstadt, you explained the relationship between the God of the North Wind and the Bloodstained Knight to the attendees. And that's where things stand. The Wild Hunt is no longer under the Rashov Sonari's control, but it has been reborn from the ashes and is now launching a widespread attack. Intel from the Frostmoon Scions and the Kurotora secrets corroborates this. No disturbances have been detected in the space where Rara resides. What we are facing is a completely new foe. Summarizing current situation. To confirm, the present leader of the Wild Hunt is the creature resembling a wolf, Andrius, God of the North Wind. More precisely, it's the external world that has seized control of Andrius' spirit, namely Roland, the Bloodstained Knight. Whoa, hold on, I'm completely lost. Isn't Roland some Mondstadt from like 500 years ago? How do you suddenly get wrapped up with a god from 1,000 years in the past and the present-day Wild Hunt? Allow us to explain that part. Are you familiar with compensation mechanisms? When an organism sustains damage, relevant tissues will undergo changes to offset the loss of function. For example, when one kidney is damaged, the other will be strengthened to compensate. Or when a main artery is blocked, the collateral vessels become more active. Similarly, when the Wild Hunt lost their leader, the Abyss harnessed the memories that flowed through the ley lines to fashion a new one fit for the present circumstances. The new leader is a mirror image of Roland, the Bloodstained Knight. So that wasn't the real Roland, but rather an abyssal imitation? Right, no matter how strong the compensation is, it will never quite match the functionality of the original organ. A Roland replica can't possibly imitate Rara's overwhelming power, nor his ability to disguise himself as others. So the Abyss made use of the connection between Roland and Boreas to compensate for this lack of power. The replica corrupted and took control of Andrius as he slumbered by the back of Ansvartnir, ultimately manifesting as the giant beast that you all witnessed. However, exactly why the Abyss chose Roland to mimic, and indeed how it was able to do so, remains unclear. I guess he must have gotten caught up with the Abyss or Nod-Krai somehow during his wandering through Teyvat. Maybe we can keep those questions on the back burner. Okay, Paimon gets all that, but what did you mean when you said we can't kill him right now? We can't kill him right now because a dead god may prove more dangerous than a living one. From intelligence gathered during the expedition, we have reason to believe the power released when a god is felled can have catastrophic consequences for us mortals. Like when the tower fell in Stormterror's lair, or when the humans turned to salt beneath Sol Terror. But still, the wrath that remains after a god's passing becomes a source of endless turmoil. Once god remains contaminate the land, they will persist for thousands of years. Like the Tatragami on Yashinori Island, and Tatsurasuna, or the karmic debt borne by the Yaksas for millennia. This land has already been ravaged by the Wild Hunt. If we add god remains to the mix, it'll be like adding salt to an open wound, placing everyone who lives here in perilous danger. Query, while I can indeed find records of disasters caused by god remains in my database, there also appears to be cases of gods dying naturally with no ill effects. In Outland, the passing of Pyro Archon Slaves is a common occurrence throughout history, and even the part of Andrius who remains a monster has experienced death once before, has he not? Great question, glad you asked. On your night, you said Lupus Boreas gave you a token to pass on to me. Please present it out, it should help explain things faster. On fourth, Boreas. This form has come to the end of its time. I'm afraid I can accompany you further on your journey. My soul will fall into silence, and my power will flow into the ley lines of this land. Perhaps this is all that a wolf can hope to do for humankind. Do not grieve for me, for this is the end I have chosen. Instead, remember that one day your wandering too has come to an end. Where and when shall that be? A final wish before I slumber. Sing me a song, that melody you so often hummed in the taverns. What was that? You saw it too? You have the keen powers of perception, not that it surprises me. That was Boreas' final thoughts before merging with the ley lines. It's the reason Mondstadt remains unharmed by his god remains. In his final moments, he made a choice to give everything he was to the ley lines, all to protect Mondstadt from harm. Sounds like Andrew spent thousands of years searching for his place in the world too. Yes, and now our task is to return them the answer he found to the decision he made to Andreas' heart. Only then can he break free from the corruption and control of the Abyss and make that decision once more. To merge himself with the ley lines. I see, I would say that planting thoughts inside the mind of a god sounds a little far-fetched, but since it was his own wish to begin with, it sounds feasible to me. Wait, oh, you already have a perfect solution? Then why are we even having this meeting? Let's go do this thing. If only were that simple. Unfortunately, this one thought alone is unlikely to be powerful enough to break through the Abyss's control and reach Andreas' heart. We need to find a way to make the thought within the sword stronger and more resilient. Now, Boreas needs all this remaining strength to fight against the abyssal corruption to Mondstadt's ley lines. He can't afford to send us any more of his power. However, since his form was unstable during his journey with the first knight of Boreas, many wolf spirit fragments were left behind along the way. If we can collect these fragments, we can use them to strengthen the decision to merge with the ley lines. So we need to retrace his steps and look for random fragments? But they could be anywhere between Nod-Krai and Mondstadt. It'll be like looking for a needle in a haystack. You don't need to worry about that. There's a few fragments left to gather in Nod-Krai, but apart from that, most of them are already inside the sword. I've been collecting them during the whole expedition. Oh wait, really? I mean, it's an expedition, not a stroll in the park. Each step of the way, we've been hard at work planning for every possible contingency. Not just the wild hunt in the abyss, but ancient god remains in Nod-Krai. Well, this plan was a long time in the making. It's almost as if you foresaw the future. As a matter of fact, I did. I caught a glimpse of Fate's reflection, but I can't take credit for it. It was all thanks to the help of a few friends. Still, all I foresaw was that an abyssal calamity was brewing in the north. Had I known more, we could have saved a lot of energy. Instead, we've had to make guesses, prepare for worse every possible scenario. If all that preparation went to waste, all the better for it, but anything that proved useful, we knew we'd be grateful for down the line. And sure enough, now it's proving useful. Sure is, just one crucial step remains. We need to gather the last few wolf spirit fragments scattered around Nod-Krai, and use them to make the thought within this sword as strong as it could possibly be. Going to what Boreas told me before we left Mondstadt, his form was at its most unstable at the beginning of his journey. That means the fragments here should be the most powerful ones. But of course, we've been tired of fighting battles since the day we set foot in Nod-Krai, first with the Wild Hunt, then with the Doctor, so it wasn't until recently we were able to confirm the status of the wolf spirit fragments. We now know there are 3 left to find. Okay, so 3 more mini expeditions to go. I managed to gather 1 fragment before Roland reappeared. I also have a confirmed location for the second, which I'll take care of in short order. As for the 3rd fragment, we've identified a general search area to focus on, but we need all hands on deck to pinpoint the exact location. Wow, you made a lot of progress already. The final snag is that since our foe is a replica of Roland, he too will be aware of Andreas' history. He's sure to try and sabotage our plans by any means at his disposal, so everyone needs to bring their A-game. With our foe being from Mondstadt, it's our duty as Mondstatters to defeat him. Since the Wild Hunt is involved, the Lightkeepers will provide their full support. The Clink Clank Kromkaki craft shop will also help in any way we can. What do they need me here for? Wait, I think I signed a contract at some point. Didn't exactly scrutinize it, though. I mean, who actually reads these things anyway, right? Oh, Jehoda, why are you so funny? Great, you already count on you all. Lastly, our friend for the Crew of Trauma Secrets will provide intel and relay battlefield communications. Looking at you, Jehoda. He'll be darting back and forth across the battlefield, dodging the Wild Hunt in the shadows of a natural god. I'm impressed by your courage, Miss Jehoda. Rating for Jehoda updated. High quality ingredients will be used to prepare your future meals. What? Darn it, I should have known this payday wouldn't come that easy. I'll deal with the second wolf spirit fragment, which we already know the location of. The moment you make any progress with the fragment 3, be sure to give me an update. Kaiko, could you join me in retrieving fragment 2? I have a feeling that your unique constitution might come in handy. Sure, I just had to ask what my job was. I'll follow your lead, Grandmaster. Alright, time is of the essence. Let's move out, people. Dismissed. Marcus Fine Child piece. You can access the reward request queue because you don't have permission. Wait, what? I have no idea. I don't know. That's weird. Remnant fragments of an ancient god, though thought sword inside a blade. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but I suspect there's more to Mr. Barker's plan than what it's revealed to us so far. And again, the enemy can harness a wild hunt to spy on us wherever we go. As our commander, I'm sure he has the reasons for choosing not to tell us everything. Jehoda, you dummy, you took the stupid job with your own free will. Crying isn't going to get you out of it. Speaking of contingency plans, I now recall Mr. Barker also made a contingency plan when he asked me to deliver that letter. Perhaps I should ask Aina to prepare some additional backup modules for me. That would probably be a smart idea. Okay, where's Durin and Albedo? They're the last two that I haven't seen. Say, because Varka's probably gone. We need to chase after Varka. Where are those two? Are they not in camp? No? No, I guess not. Okay. Well, let's go. Oh, down here. Okay, let's go down here. You say the fragment 2 was supposed to be right here. Where the heck is it? Seems like we run into a slight hindrance. Can I leave this to you, Honorary Knight? You could if I remembered how this worked. Okay, when it's all over, I'm going to invite you two around for a drink. Drink off. Both are thinking about Monset's wine and keep your head in the game. We can't be daydreaming about alcohol before a battle. Right, just one of the first words. Oh, you want to see some photos I took of me in the nights before the expedition, maybe? Shut up. Can you please focus on finding the Wolf Spirit fragment? What am I supposed to be doing? I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to connect these two somehow? Okay, he doesn't read the guide. Well, I forgot, okay. I'm pretty sure. Okay, nope, that didn't do anything. Okay, yep. There we go. The other one's good at the current. See, I did it! It was fine. This is what we're looking for. What do we do with it? And once Galborius explained to me how he saw the still inside objects, all I need to do is transfer it to my sword. Stay back at the camp, but this time you best step back just a bit, just in case. Oh, there's a thing up there. You're saying you don't know how to love people and you don't understand human love either? Why'd you laugh? Sorry, to think the fact that you're ruminating on all of this is all the proof you need that you have love in your heart. I have a funny feeling by the time this journey ends, you'll have found your own answers to the questions of how to love. No, you're wrong, there is no redemption at the end of the path. Even if I'm stained black with blood, my consciousness will remain as white as snow. Pledging allegiance to the abyss is the only way to sever the injustice of fate, then I shall serve in its name. Well, that's not good. Ah. Welcome? Sure enough, this place has been corrupted by Brendan's will. Phew. I'm fine, I was prepared for this. It wasn't enough to pose a serious threat. We got here just in time. This fragment hasn't been fully corrupted yet. Assuming we can undo the damage, it should still be usable. That's why you brought me along. You want me to purify it? Purifying the abyssal corruption would definitely be a safe approach, but that's not the only reason I wanted you to come. Could you try reversing the corruption? Not purifying it exactly, but separating out the Roland part from the Wolf Spirit? Oh. So keep the Roland part intact as well as the Wolf Spirit part? Why would you want to do that? Firstly, to test whether it's possible, and secondly, to view Roland's memories. As they say, know thyself, know thy enemy, understanding our foe is our surest path to defeating him. This is a little unexpected, I've never even tried this before. Let me think, how was it explained to me? Ah yes, focus on a single thought within the 1,000 winds, capturing that unique wisp before it blows away. I have no idea what that means. Actually, neither do I. What? Sounds like something a certain tone-deaf bard would come up with when he can't think of anything meaningful to say. Wait, don't imply when that's actually what happened. And then it might mean something to you. Never mind, I'll explain it in more human terms. Kaiko, when you were in that land, you went fishing for ancient names, correct? Yes, actually sort of, but I wasn't the one doing the fishing. If I'm not mistaken, the Night Kingdom was like a river flowing with concepts, and you were trying to capture the concept belonging to a particular ancient name, and thinking the same basic principles should apply here. Okay, but back then we had a boat and a net, this time we don't have anything at all. This whole spirit fragment's like a puddle compared to the Night Kingdom. No need for a boat. As for a net, this is what I've heard. Thoughts and emotions are like interwoven threads. They can create a net, or they can create a rope. They can separate love from hatred, and they can bind objects and events together. Thoughts is the anchor for being's existence, through which emotions are drawn forth. Okay, I think I'm kind of starting to get the idea, but maybe I'm not. It's hard to say. Mavwika! Also, we barely know anything about Roland. How are we supposed to use thoughts to anchor him? Well, maybe you could try this. What is it? It looks old and tattered. It's an unsent letter written by the wolf pup Rostam, Knight of Boreas, from 500 years ago. It was meant for his disciple, the White Knight Roland. That's a heck of a thing to have sitting in your back pocket. After Rostam lost his life to the Abyssal Calamity, Roland left Mondstadt to wander to Vat. Grandmaster Ardlin had wanted to deliver this letter to him. To try and track Roland down was like chasing a shadow. He never did find him, and so this letter has been sitting in the Knights of Favonius headquarters ever since. Quite the antique then, but how exactly is it supposed to anchor Roland? I am honestly not sure. Oh, hey, what happened to Mr. Plan to every contingency? You're just making this up as you go along. What can I say? People like to wait till they've got all their ducks in a row before taking the first step. I prefer to dive on in and plan as I go. I've been doing it that way for the whole expedition. Anyway, don't they say that poetry and letters are humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts? I'd like to give it a try, surely. We might as well see what happens. Are we not going to read the letter? Oh, maybe we are. Maybe not. Oh, turkeys are off. Have a good week next week, and hopefully I will see you on Wednesday. Well, it actually worked. You really are making this up as you go along. The assimilation of souls really can be reversed, just like you said. Who said? Got him. Oh, I think he got me. If what you say is true, the monsters I've slain, the justice I've sought to uphold, for mortals to escape this tragic fate, there is only one path. A great and ancient kingdom was wrongfully cursed, turning its inhabitants into monsters. The code of chivalry tolerates not such injustice. If Abyss be thy name, I pledge to you my loyalty. And that is where the Bloodstained Knight's tale came to an end. With that, he bade his humanity farewell. I dare say you must find it quite ironic, Knight of Boreas. Who is this? Dance Life! Dance Life? How do you know a Boreas striking resemblance, but that wasn't him? Oh, it must be his brother! The Visionary! He had all those eyes, right? But how did he know it was you? I guess it could be Renova, but that's a red eye. This is a blue eye. Let me just drink some water. While we gazed into the past, he was gazing right back at us. Could it be? The Visionary! Verdfulnir. That's what happened. After leaving Mondstadt and wandering the land, Roland ventured underground and saw a revelation from the Visionary. Once he had learned of Conria's fate, he saw the god's judgment as a great injustice, so he surrendered himself to the Abyss. The Giving them his knowledge, his power, his everything. That's why the Abyss can replicate him. Uh-oh, does that mean we have to take on the Visionary this time? No, the founder of the Abyss Order was once shown a revelation, based on his experience at least. The Visionary is unlikely to intervene directly. I'm inclined to agree. If our enemy could see the future, both Wild Hunt and Roland would be acting with far more lethal precision. But even without the Visionary's input, Roland still has an intel advantage we can't afford to underestimate. Every minion of the Wild Hunt serves as Roland's eyes and ears. We need to think one step ahead if we want to outmaneuver him. And on that note, I have a plan I want to discuss with you. Now? Why didn't you bring it up during the meeting? Well, the few people who know, the less likely it is to get leaked. Besides, it wasn't a fully formed plan back then. Barker explains his plan. And doesn't tell me the plan. And that about covers it. Sorry to ask so much of you again. No way, it's too dangerous. My plan is free of risks. At least this one actually gives us a shot at fully eliminating the danger posed by this ancient god. Surely that's got to make the risk worth taking. But there's no guarantee it'll work. If I fail, Anselm and Albedo can take the reins. Not to mention we still have Jean and Mondstadt. There has to be another way, like a backup plan? Backup plan? If only there were, but I don't think our enemy will give us enough time to find one. Hey, are you guys done here yet? Ah, Jehoda, yes, we've successfully retrieved the Wolf Spirit fragment here. Any progress with fragment 3? Nope, it's no disaster. More Wild Hunt monsters than I've seen in my whole life. We need backup urgently, come quick. Come on, we are out of time. We'll just have to trust me on this one. You're making too many decisions on your own. You're putting me in a difficult position here. What can I say? I'm not the Grand Master for nothing. I'm counting on you, Honorary Knights. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you'd like to see me play live, then check out my Twitch channel. You can find me on Wednesdays and Sundays at 8 PM GMT. Thanks again, and have a great day.